Yo, what's going on, everybody? Hope everybody is doing well. Recently, I've been playing quite a lot of Path of Exiles 2. As you can see, in the past 2 weeks, I have quite a few hours. And even though I don't have the most amount of hours in this game, I wanted to make a video talking about my opinion on the game because I personally think Path of Exiles 2 is pretty fucking awesome. Let's go ahead and get straight into it. For those of you who don't know, Path of Exiles 2 is an action MMORPG. This game came out in December of 2024. However, I'd like to mention that I didn't start playing this game until the Abyssal League, which was the 0.3 patch. And after that league ended, I ended up taking a break and I came back for this current league, which is the Runes of Alder League, and I just fell in love with the game all over again. And yeah, as you can see, again, past 2 weeks, quite a lot of hours. And even with all that time, I still feel like I have a lot to learn because this game just has a lot to offer. But that's what makes it really fun in my opinion. Never really played anything like Diablo or any type of game similar. Didn't play Path of Exiles 1 either. And I gotta say, as somebody who's brand new to these type of games, going into Path of Exiles 2 blind and then just running it with my friends, running it by myself, no matter what I've been doing, it's just been a really great experience overall in this game. One thing I really like about this game is the lore and the story. This game has multiple acts and you start out with Act 1. You start out in Algam and you gotta make your way through, helping out the local people and getting familiar with some pretty important characters in the lore like the Hooded One. Once you make your way through there, you got the Vastiri Desert in Act 2. Act 3, we got the Utsal Jungle. And then in Act 4, we got Namakanui, where you go to multiple different islands. Each island has its own type of lore. And once you're done with all 4 acts, you make your way to the Interlude, which takes you back through Acts 1, 2, and 3. I really like the concept with the beast and just the way the whole acts are set up, because throughout Act 1 you learn about the threat of the beast, and this is why I really like the Interlude, because you basically go back throughout all the acts and you recruit all the people that you've already helped out. Once the Interlude ends, you do unlock the end of the game content, which is maps. The end game in Path of Exile 2 is you going on an adventure throughout all of this infinite area, completing as many zones as you can along the way and just expanding the map as much as possible while completing all the quests as well. I'm still not even done with all the quests myself. I'm sure it's not impossible to beat all the quests within the time I've played the game, but I usually take my sweet time and just try to enjoy the game as much as possible. Regardless, as you can see, there is a whole lot when it comes to maps. You start here in the Ziggurat Refuge and then you just make your way out as you go. And when I first started playing in the Abyssal League, this right here was not a thing at all. Maps didn't have any quest lines actually, but here in patch 0.5, the Runes of Alder League, we not only have this really cool fortress that's connected to a Doriani quest for the end game, but we have a bunch more quests similar to this as well. And I'm just absolutely loving this whole experience so far. I still have so many nodes to unlock, as you can see, and once I unlock those, I'm gonna have a plethora of nodes to unlock after that. And that whole concept to me is really cool, and I just can't wait to keep exploring. The way you access each zone is simple. You look for a blue zone that you haven't been to yet, and then you're gonna need a waystone. Waystones are what actually allow you to, traverse through the map and go through the entire map. Without a waystone, you can't even go into a map, so you literally have to have the waystone. But once you have your waystone, you could just throw it in right here and then load up the map. Now, of course, there's a bunch to keep in mind when it comes to waystones. The lowest is tier 1 and the highest is tier 16, as you can see right here. And depending on how many prefixes and suffixes your map has will determine how many revives you have on the map. And as you can see, since I have 6 modifiers in total with 3 prefixes and 3 suffixes, that means I have 0 revives. The waystone modifiers are going to make the map much more difficult, but on top of that, you can make the map even more difficult and give yourself an extra opportunity for even better loot by adding tablets. You can have a maximum of 3 tablets default, and then there are some maps that allow you to have 4 tablets. I want to say it's the city maps. But yeah, each of the tablets also have different modifiers on them as well, and some of them are actually really good, like increased experience gain and increased rarity of items found in map. And then I also have a 32% chance to gain 4 additional abysses with an 86% chance to contain Asmeri spirits. Depending on the type of modifier you have on the tablet will determine the type of objective you can get throughout that map. There are various different types of objectives like abysses, Asmeri spirits, rituals, and just a plethora of other options as well that are all unique in their own way, and each of them has a chance of getting you some pretty damn good loot. And speaking of loot, arguably the best way to get loot in this game is of course fighting bosses. No matter which zone you load into, each zone will have a final boss that you have to kill as an objective requirement, and some of them even have additional requirements that you need to complete before you finish the entire map. And if you go up here and click this I button, you can see that we have powerful map bosses, deadly map bosses, and we also have pinnacle bosses. And what's really cool about maps is that each of these quests will actually lead you to a pinnacle boss, but once the quest is over, you either have to farm those items up or you can buy these items through the currency exchange or just by the market tab. And by the way, these are just 2 absolutely goated features in the game. If you hit the / tab on your keyboard, you bring up the market tab, and yeah, you can literally just search up anything you want and buy basically anything you want. I'm not gonna say everything in the game is available through the market tab. There are some things that you specifically have to go to the currency exchange for, but regardless, you can still trade with other players and just buy items you need if you got the currency. I think that is really cool, and this whole system has just just been pretty awesome. I'm pretty positive you have access to the market at all times, but you gain access to the currency exchange whenever you get to Act 4. And once you get to endgame, you can also get your own hideout that houses all the NPCs basically that you would see in the town, including Ange, which has the currency exchange and the map device. And of course, you can customize your house with various different types of decorations, so that way you can have the house that you truly desire. And yeah, I just think that's really cool as well. Getting to endgame and getting rewarded with all of this is pretty damn awesome. I wanted to go over all that before I actually talk about the characters themselves, because man, the character creation and the builds in this game are one of the main reasons that I absolutely love this game. Each character, in my personal opinion, is pretty damn awesome, and by the way, the start of this game is fucking crazy. You pick your character, whichever one you choose is the only one that survives, the rest get hung. Pretty wild shit. But that's the type of shit we're on in Path of Exile 2, I guess. And regardless, at the end of the day, you really can't go wrong with any of the options that you pick. As far as my characters go, these are the 3 characters I have right here. This is my very first character I ever played through the game with. He's an Invoker Monk, as you can see right here, and he is currently in the Standard League because, again, I made this character throughout the Rise of Abyssal League. We got my newest character, my Druid, who is an Oracle Druid, and then I got my main character, my Mercenary Gemling Legionnaire, who's level 90, and yeah, this is my main character right here. And one thing I want to talk about when it comes to the characters in this game, I did not realize that you could use basically any type of weapon on any type of character in the game. Every character in this game will have strength, dexterity, and intelligence no matter what, and because of that, that means you can basically use any type of build on any character. However, what makes the characters themselves unique is the fact that they all have a different ascendancy class. This is why, even though I'm a mercenary, you can see right here, I have the Gemling ascendancy. On top of this amazing skill tree that we have that just has so many amazing nodes and it's just really creative, we also have a skill tree for the ascendancy classes, and the modifiers that the ascendancy classes offer are pretty damn amazing. Even if I'm not using them, there are just still pretty awesome ones that each ascendancy class has. And when I realized that this is what mainly separates the characters, and you could literally use any weapon on any character and just modify your ascendancy class based on, you know, your build, my respect grew for this game even more, because the whole concept of having multiple different type of builds, even if they're not like the typical build this character would rock, I think is really amazing. I love when games do that. As somebody who plays Warframe, that's one of the main attractions for me when it comes to those type of games, just having a fuck ton of builds. Even if there are a plethora of meta builds that shit on the end game content, it's not like you have to specifically use a meta build due to the variety of builds we have. My build with my Gemling is actually an insta-snipe Quill Rain build. I still need to improve this build even though I am level 90. As you can see, my snipe is not necessarily instant. It's pretty fast though. Oh yeah, the drip in this game, absolutely peak. You can even get custom effects for your attack. If I didn't buy this effect right here, this is what my snipe would look like whenever I shoot it into this tornado skill. It doesn't look that bad, but it doesn't look anything like this. I mean, that just looks beautiful. And that makes the build that much more fun, in my opinion. So yeah, this is the whole build right here. I break the frost walls with the snipe, and yeah, I shoot the tornado into the frost wall, and this is what I do. And yeah, I pretty much go from there. I also have the Bodok helmet. I fucking love this thing. It's so goofy, and it's just really fun to have on this build. And I'll probably make a separate video talking about my mercenary build. This is a very popular build, and I actually got inspired to make this build from a YouTube video I saw. So it just goes to show you that the community is well aware that PoE 2 has a plethora of builds that allow you to just run through the game. The combat itself is very fun too. Again, as somebody who's not used to these top-down type of games, this game still feels really like Souls-like, to be honest with you. This game kind of reminds me of like a mixture of like Warframe and Elden Ring. It's weird, with like a top-down look. Maybe that's just my weird review of it, but I see similarities in both those games within Path of Exile 2, and I think that's pretty damn cool. Overall, this is an absolute W game, a 10 out of 10 game if I do say so myself, and I can't wait to learn more about the game, make more characters, and I can't wait to fight a bunch of the pinnacle bosses that I haven't yet, and hopefully I can get some good loot along the way. That's pretty much gonna be it for this video. Feel free to let me know what you guys think of the video down in the comments, and let me know your thoughts on Path of Exiles 2 as well. And be on the lookout for some more Path of Exiles content in the future. I definitely want to make some build videos and just some character playthroughs, because a lot of these characters look really cool, and there's a lot of characters I've never played through before. That's pretty much gonna be it for me. Thanks for watching, keep your head up and stay positive, and with all that being said, have a good one.